All of us,
It
all
don't
of us,
matter what
all
I say.
70%.
It's about the outcome they getting. And observable reality is that one mistake can be extremely dire. It don't matter
It
what I
can be,
say.
but we make a lot of them as people.
And I'm telling you, black men are responsible for her being masculine because we have not helped her raise them children.
I am
and
not.
when I say help them raise them children, I don't mean you as the stepdad.
No, yeah,
I mean you as an active member in the community. She got masculine because she had to become masculine in order to deal with the disappointments that men had in her life, and also raising those kids and have to take care of herself all at the same time. The black woman has been the be all in all in our community for half of a century, and now we want to turn around and say because she didn't do it perfectly enough or remain feminine enough when she had to absorb our responsibilities plus her own, that's insensitive and disingenuous.
That's the good doctor. I feel like he's pandering to his audience.
He's telling the truth. Black women, we have always been the backbone of
Get to the core. Let's get to the core of it. Here's my thing. I ingest the pill of it's not my fault, but it is my responsibility. And that needs to be a lot of people's motto going forward, because it's all that type of talk is always going to come off as pandering, because we got to get to the root. He's saying the men ain't around. The men ain't around. So at what point is this grown woman, when is she responsible for mating with this guy and being the reason why he's not around?
Well, a big part of this is she's mentally where he is at the time that they're mating anyway. So when he's thinking about how I'm just here to get a good feeling, she's thinking the same thing. I'm just here to get a good feeling, which isn't smart. And you
let's stop right there, Crystal. So they both there talking about let's just get a good feeling. Like, and we've already established, like, God, the fathers ain't around. And the fathers ain't around because marriage-minded women are out here mess with marriage-minded men and the men just leaving. That's not the case. We know there was a generation after the silent generation. We are collecting data as we go on. That generation after the silent generation, they say, I'm not going to be nothing like my grandmama and them.
Right.
I'm not. I ain't going to be nothing
like.
Do
we ever look into why they say that? We don't.
They said that because they didn't understand what they were seeing. They were children. And a lot of these grown women that said that as teenagers, they adults now, single moms, and like, wow, I didn't realize what I was seeing when I was seeing grandma and nana being devoted and showing a sense of duty and responsibility. I thought that wasn't fun because I was a kid, but now I'm adult. It makes sense. So that's the problem. They saw something they couldn't translate what they were seeing. And we also know that the women were talking. So a lot of I ain't gonna say a lot, but there's a fair amount of those mothers that were tainting their daughters' mindset about marriage. They were not seeing a happy marriage. I talked about this. I believe it's our responsibility to show our kids healthy and happy relationships so they can move like that. That's what I'm saying. A lot of stuff is not our problem, but it's not our fault, but it is our responsibility if we want to get our desired outcome. I don't agree with. The only thing I agree with him that, you know what, women may have become masculine as a byproduct. I will say that, but
that's pretty much what he was saying. He was saying that women, that's exactly what he said.
But he was saying guys, but I'm saying that the women got to take accountability in their outcome.
Yes, we know that.
We know that.
But he's saying they don't.
He's saying we have to understand why women became as masculine as they did.
If men are the leaders, and if men, and I'm not about to get into that whole conversation, but if men are the leaders in the society based off how we think as people of the Western world, if men are the leaders and the woman is falling behind the woman is doing as the man is doing a lot of the times, and or lack of that. So I think it's both. I've been saying it's always both. It's always been both. It's black men taking their accountability and what their ancestors did, maybe not even them. And it's black women not making the wrong decisions of constantly procreating with people until they learn themselves and who the other person is. But that's very difficult because we don't have morals like that anymore. And we don't have mom and dad in a healthy home, like Mr. Walker said, to teach these children the right structure. So you got to stop having kids.
I got a question. Why do you all think women taught their daughters to be independent instead of
because they had to.
man?
Because these listen here, these men, we are not that removed. I hate to do this, but it's true. We are not that far removed from the plantation. We are not. So it's my understanding a lot of these women may not have been so smitten with marriage because there was no idea of leisure. These women should just be happy for their man making it home in one piece. So it was not a happy town. We just removed from the plantation. So it's not going to be the best situation. We still all the stuff.
But I feel like that argument.
But that's the men's argument. Crystal, what is the female's argument? Why our mother told us to not depend on men?
Yeah, I feel like the reason why, first off, what Mr. Walker is saying, I feel you, but I also don't like it how we don't want to start at the root of those problems. And when we do, it's going down a rabbit hole. That's why they don't never want to have a conversation with me. But to answer this question, I think it's because, wait, what was the question? He the queen.
Well, I asked Mr. Walker, why did he think our mothers told us not to depend on a man and get
right? So my mother personally never told me not to depend on a man, but my mom always taught me how to be my own person and take care of myself no matter what.
But I'm saying historically, why did the women say that?
I believe that women were told that because they couldn't depend on a man during that time. That would be the main reason. Whether he was at war, got hung, just didn't want to be there, drug ridden, whatever. Trey always say it was more women on crack than men. Everybody was using some drugs. It's a lot of reasons as to why a lot is messed up. But I think that, we just gotta, I think if men can show other men how to be the example, you can be from the hood and not of the hood. You could be from the hood and not of the hood with women. I just think if we keep saying she keep her legs closed and we don't help the men at all and give them resources, we're going to be trying to help the Bonquisha and it's no help over there, or at least trying to fix the culture.
Right. And I say because the women were told that because they had to be independent from men because they couldn't depend on the men. For whatever reason, they couldn't depend on men. This is
even if it was their own picking.
This is what Mr. Omar is saying.
That's the thing. You said for whatever reason. We can't say for whatever reason. We can't.
We don't know the reason why our mother said that. Our mother said that because they could. We know the reason, but we don't know the reasons why they weren't dependable.
It's extremely ill-advised. There ain't no way. Even a mother that had a hard time, a mom that's sitting there and maybe her husband at work in the steel mill ain't the nicest. He ain't the most pleasant. It is not in her best interest to tell her daughter to not get married. That's why we're here today.
So why did Omar say that?
Yeah, I didn't say that.
Well, two things.
But also, do you want to be with some mean?
Because they had a rebellious spirit. And
no. Why did Mr. Omar say what he said? Not what you think. Why do you think he said that?
What? He said a lot. He
said women were turned into masculine, having a masculine frame because they could not depend on men because they had to be independent. What do you say? Why did he say that if that weren't a true statement? And Crystal said something similar to that.
Well, two things is true. We can't sit here and act like everything that come out Dr. Umar's mouth is
but Crystal said this on her own, and I said
and black women are saying it collectively. How about this? Black women are saying it collectively.
You want us to debunk a lie?
No,
we're saying it. Crystal's saying it. I'm saying it. He said it. It's not a lie.
If y'all tell me every week this is what it is with black men, Crystal, you can't argue that. Guess what I'm gonna say? You know what? I might change my opinion.
Right.
If y'all collectively as black men and saying this is happening multiple times, I'll be like, well, then I have to agree. I mean, what can I do to fight that? But when we say it as black women, that collectively this is what we saw and what we're experiencing. Listen to us firsthand, just like we listen to y'all. It's like oblivious. It's no way.
No, listening. We listening. They saying that these women are masculine because they made it with men that won't protect them and leaving them out to dry.
No, it's multiple issues.
Well, even when we had Kelly Kell up here, and Kelly Kell said, "Well, I'm raising a teenage boy. How y'all expect me to be feminine when I'm supposed to be raising this boy by myself?" And
wait, who?
And it doesn't matter who, just women, a lot of women, they go on the Kendra show and say it. Women say this all the time. And like you said, quit choosing these men. You can't shoot yourself in the foot and walk around telling people you got shot.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying this with the we're not talking about women who are choosing bad decision after bad decision after bad decision after bad decision.
Well, no,
That
just
we already
it
agree
can be
on.
one. It could. That's the thing. We
But
got.
You can't live life off one bad decision.
It can.
All of us,
It
all
don't
of us,
matter what
all
I say.
70%.
It's about the outcome they getting. And observable reality is that one mistake can be extremely dire. It don't matter what I say.
But we make a lot of them as people. We'll always make some mistakes.
That's fine. We all make mistakes. You got to live with those mistakes and the consequences that come along with them. That's
what
it.
you're saying is 70% are single family household. You're trying to tell me that 70% of those women made bad decisions, and none of those decisions were made by men walking out the door on.
Don't make no sense. I ain't gonna keep.
So we're talking about the men who weren't there to help raise those children. Omar is talking about the men who forced women to be masculine.
If I go out here and and I knock up a bonquisha, I gotta eat that. If she said I can't complain, I can't complain about anything. If she key in my car, busting my window, I can't complain to nobody. If she about set my house on fire, I can't complain to nobody because that's I did that.
Right.
And why can't women take that same approach?
We agree. I agree. I can only speak
they don't, because they said it's Nug's fault. It's as a man, you gotta. That's why I said men do not have the luxury of being as delusional. We must understand that no matter what happens in our life,
we can't say that 70% is all women our fault.
We're not saying that it's not her fault. We're not saying that she didn't make a bad decision. I agree with you at least.
We're saying that it's not all her fault. We're saying it's not all the 70% of fatherless children. That's not all of the woman's fault.
It's not.
It's some of the men's
fault. Nobody's saying that though. That's what I'm saying. Y'all keep saying stuff that we ain't. Nobody's exonerating Nug of anything. We are telling y'all to stop sleeping with him. If y'all gonna keep sleeping with him, get out our face with these.
We already get that though. Like I think we're just having maybe.
We are telling Bonquisha in mass, stay out of our face until you stop sleeping with Nug. That's our
which is good. I don't.
We've talked to Nug. We said Nug, what can we do to hold you accountable? He said you're gonna have to bring that leg. So we've talked to him.
We can't do that. We can't leave our families deleting Nug. So.
And Nug, y'all need to be promoting Nug wearing
you didn't hear what I just said. We said Nug, how can we get you to stop messing with Bonquisha? Said you can't without physical violence.
So why you make it seem as though we can make women close their legs?
So there we go. I'm happy you said that.
How can we make her close her legs?
So you telling me that today's women are saying, I won't listen to you, heathen queen and responsible women, because if y'all try to correct us, we're gonna meet y'all with physical violence.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time. You got a whole bunch of ghetto, but yeah, if you try to help them or they get very defensive, yeah, if you're like, hey, I think it happens. At
the very end of the day, I hate to be so cliche up here, and I see a few people in the chat was saying it earlier, but at the end of the day, who is raising the majority of all Nugs and Bonquishas?
Children without the right standards that they should have in place.
What gender are they? What gender?
I don't know. I think women. Yes, of course we know that women are left with a child. Like nobody. I'm not arguing the fact that she shouldn't have had a baby with this man. But I'm talking. We're adding decisions that people are making and just separate conversations within the culture. Culturally, it's not a good thing. It's not something that should be repeated. But also, too, we were talking about how women got super masculine, and we just completely dismiss a whole group of people. And that's why I don't like these conversations, because I don't speak in majorities all the time. I'm speaking in experiences, sometimes things I've seen. In majority, this needs to get fixed. Right. But there's also a majority within that's getting a stereotype that's unfair.
Right. So what's the majority? Like, just if you can, like, what are we missing? Who's getting dismissed?
I feel like Black women who are not extremely hood, ghetto, yes, went collectively on any type of, I guess you could say, like financial, what is it, like tax bracket. You have women that, make, good money and have children out of wedlock. That completely, we've already killed that and said that people need to be married 96% of the time before you have a child. The only other time I would see you not is in extreme situations, emergencies or something, like, I don't know. But I just think that it's hard, because the same aggression you're feeling, I think women feel too when we're trying to explain that, but it's a larger group of women, college. And this is something I do want to bring up. how can Black women be the most educated, whether it made sense or not? Okay, I'm a millennial. I believe in starting businesses. You ain't got to go to college, but still, Black women are the most educated, and we can see that big number.
The most enrolled. We're gonna say the most enrolled.
Why do you keep saying the most enrolled when
they are?
They are the most enrolled. We can't.
And we're the most
enrolled.
You can't measure education, and not with stats, but you can measure enrollment.
And a lot of them ain't graduating. That's the whole point. They're not graduating. They're
yes, they are. Look at the Census Bureau. Yes, they are.
They're dropping
out. The Census Bureau says something different.
What percent of Black women are graduating with degrees?
That was based off only degrees. I didn't see that statistic based off enrollment. I saw it based off actual.
They're enrolled though. They will go to school for a semester and then fail out. All right.
Says, do y'all think government assistance contributed to women becoming masculine? The government took those dependable men out the house. Just my opinion. It's an opinion. That's his opinion. That's his opinion.
We did not take men out of the house.
There we go. Listen,
they did not take men out of the house. You walked out.
You know what? I get it. Listen, this is one of the deepest rabbit holes on YouTube. I promise.
It really is. And like Chris said, observable reality. I've given my example. I watched a grown man get chased out of his own house because the woman wanted to have welfare.
This is in the ghetto. This is not the regular.
Well, the majority. The majority of women are the ghetto.
It wasn't exactly the ghetto.
No, the majority, 14%.
Back in them days, back in the 80s and 70s, yes, they were. The majority of us, and still today, we are here. There was much more then, and it's still the majority today. So here we go. Hit the like button if you're just coming in. Are modern women too masculine for marriage? We've been mining through this all night. I'm going to bring this Kendra contestant up. This is about to set the whole tone for tonight. We've been going back and forth. We brought the men out. Because what's the opposite of sitting here saying are women too masculine? You could say are men too feminine, right? And we brought the men out painting their damn nails and you know, Kid Cudi and these guys wearing dresses. You know, what side? It's a lot of wonkiness going on. I'll say that. So
I believe there is cause and effect. Like, you know, Dr. Umar, I'm not quoting Umar for nothing, but Umar, yeah, I believe that women are masculine as effect of not being with their man for whatever reason. And now today, guys are more feminine. Yes, there will be cause and effect for sure. And that's why I feel it's very important for certain men, if you can, stand on this small square and just really promote masculinity for the better of the group. But yeah, but with that being said, I think I believe anybody could get married if they accept their lane. How about that?
So here we go. We've been talking about masculine, feminine. Let's see. It's about to get wild. Hit the like button. Hit the like button.